is the best day of my life. When the child comes, touch your feet, and nowadays that touching the feet is a little bit considered not. So let us be very practical. But deep inside, they feel that practical. They thank you. One of my students, he was Avini's Pariksha. There was hundreds, thousands of students I got announced. But there are few which is always there in my mind. And nowadays I am not a regular teacher in the sense I don't take a regular classroom teaching. Occasionally I do, but there was a time when so thousands of students got passed through and I got an opportunity to mentor them. But there was a student named Avini's Pariksha. He was ICSC All India Rank 1. And getting All India Rank 1 in ICSC class test is not a joke, it's very tough because all of us know the syllabus of ICSC is far ahead than CBSE. Right? Avini Pariksha belongs to Orissa. That time I was having my education center in Bhilai in Chhattisgarh. So usually it was a time when students from Orissa they used to come to Chhattisgarh and Bhilai. And we were among the leading institute. So all the toppers usually just they hook to us. So I got an opportunity to get this Avini Pariksha. The first meeting I had with him, he said, because he being as an All India Rank 1, he was like a iconic person among the students' fraternity at that time. So all the TVs and everyone was showcasing him. And when he along with his parent, he took a call to meet me and looking to be a part of my institute. So I was feeling also very glad and happy because in this drive we are always looking for some of those students, some of those personalities which could be a source of motivation and inspiration. Avini Pariksha came along with his father and I asked him one thing which I never forget at a very young age. This was among very few I saw. I asked him why he wanted to get into IIT. He said I wanted to prepare for JEE. That time it was IIT JEE. So he said, I wanted to do some kind of a noble invention which can make a big difference in the life of people. I wanted to do some noble invention which can bring a big change in the life of the people. And there may be a student who can say such kind of sentence for some temporary, lauding around. But this child, he was with the way he has expressed his eyes, his body, his thought, his word was all resonating together. And there was not even a flip of thought in my mind that what he is saying is not true. And this is the time of 2016. He got into the various prestigious organization, everything. Recently he passed out. So I am continuously in track with him. Even most of the students are also associated with me, but particularly for some student, I always keep a track on them. So recently, in between again, I peep in and I ask, how is the life doing? How is life going? And generally what happens, some thought of one day, over a period of a time, get diluted. You see, with the times, we get an opportunity to grow also, right or not? But there are few visionary people in the life whose thoughts never get flickered with the time, by the change of situation, they never change their thought process. During this last few years, whenever I get an opportunity, I create some story and I just pass it to him. And I just wanted to see, still he hooks to his sentiment of doing some research for some mankind. And believe me, 3 days back I had again a talk with him. He is moving to abroad he came up with the same thought. Now I don't know whether he could be next Thomas Edison or whether he could be creating some invention which can make a big change in everyone's life. I don't know. But I really wish that it happens. Right or not? Similar thoughts, similar sentiments, with similar ideology, with similar kind of an impact, if we can make it out. Now I wanted a little bit carefulness and alertness. I am a maths teacher. Most of you must have already identified that who is the English faculty here, English teacher. I think Poonam Madam is the English teacher. Yeah. So you must have seen there are a lot of grammatical error I used to commit. But I don't feel regret or never feel, hide about it. The reason being, if you would have seen my childhood, coming and speaking a line of English was not that easy. Yeah. The first time in my life I came to know how to speak English when I got into the college. Because before that, no one has, I could not get that opportunity. So please bear with me in case if some grammatical errors are going up here and there. But now I wanted your full alertness and your cooperation to come to some very crux what I wanted to convey. I see most of the students, if as a teacher at an early age, what is an early age? When the child is coming out of so-called comfort, cocoon, someone comes in their class 4, someone comes in class 8, I don't know that. But make sure whether, every one of us can do that, whether the child excel in your subject is a secondary matter. But at least in the thought process, help him to give that thought which can make him from popcorn to popcorn. Let him come up with some thought process in his life. Let him come with some thought process in his life. Help him to get some vision of his life. Are you with me?
Yes.
If a child says, I wanted to become a cricketer, or if a child says, I wanted to become the researcher, or I wanted to become a doctor, please allow him, give him the thought, motivate him, inspire him that, friend, don't just look to become doctor, lawyer, engineer, researcher, but look how you can make a big impact to the mankind. That will open the door of opportunities to him, wherein he will never consider any kind of the challenge as his limiting parameter not to move ahead. Because his thought process is so clear and he is driving himself for such a big cause that he will never going to get stuck at any moment. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
All of us can do that. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
There is nothing called good parenting or bad parenting. There is nothing called good teaching or bad teaching. But a good sentiments is vibe which everyone catches. If your vibe in this profession, noble profession of as a teacher, if that one thought even, if all of us can carry, that make sure every child, when we get an opportunity to connect to them, whether whatsoever class you are into, if you are into, say, suppose nursery or class 2 or class 3 at an early stage of teacher, make sure, give them that opening in the mind so that they can have some broader thing in their mind. When the child comes to the middle class, make sure that it grooms up, gives wing to his thought. Give that support. Not just holding a child to become an engineer or a lawyer or a cricketer or a teacher or an artist, whatsoever. But make sure in his path, in his thought, give him that vision which can make some big difference, and his action in time to come can create a big difference to the mankind. And this is one of the big responsibility we all as a teacher need to carry. And I tell you, this is my personal experience as well as in this whole audience of, I think I don't know, around 100, whatever it is. No one will deny the fact that if all of us can carry with that noble thought process of making the changes in the life of the people, by creating a difference in the life of, for generations to come, your small act will make a big difference in their life, and it will also create a big difference in your life as well. It will also create a big difference in your life as well. Because we got the teacher, we became the teacher, but at the same time, we all are parents also. Are you with me? Yes? If we are doing something good to them, we are equally becoming capable of doing good to our child as well. I always say, Shruti, go back. Up. This, yes. Every teacher duplicates. Every teacher duplicates. Ma'am, can you just turn this so that every teacher duplicates strength and weaknesses both. It's a lot more need to be done to make sure the strengths get duplicated and not weakness. And now there won't be any external person who will peep up into your life. Not even your father, not even your mother, not even your husband. It is the one ourselves we have to get a little bit deeper to revive our internal teacher. Because if we are not going to create and if we are not going to do it in the right way of duplicating the strength, I tell you, we are going to do the same blunderous mistake to our child also. Because God has not empowered us कि as a teacher आप कुछ और कर लो और as a parent आप कुछ और कर लो. It is not possible. Your regular action, your regular act plays the most vital role to see how well your next generation is doing. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Again, I tell the same thing. Time is very less, so I have to. Hello?
Sir, I want to ask one question.
Yes.
So the question is, according to you,
Yeah.
what are the attributes of a good teacher? Because we all are goals, but we want to be more goal, right? So what is that thought in us?
So there is nothing common thought. There is nothing common word. There is nothing common session. Everyone has their own things. That is what I am saying again and again. Reviving internal teacher. Get deeper into it. You are the best judge. You are the best teacher of your own life. No one can motivate and demotivate you if you don't take that call of analyzing, getting deeper. You know what is good and what is bad. That basics we learn at the very early age of our child. No one else has to come and tell what is good and what is bad. Are you with me? Every one of us knows this. When you get into the class, as I am saying you, when we get into the class, like I am today right now, speaking to all of you. Yes or no? Probably you may not going to say anything, but your eyes are speaking everything to me. I can read your eyes. Yes or no? Similarly, you are also experiencing. When you get into the class, your child, your students, they are speaking everything about you. You have to be very conscious that what is that good act I have to do and what is the act which I have to overcome. And one of the important acts which I always feel. Now this is a very long time, there are a lot of stories, a lot of the things I wanted to get deeper, penetrate into the mind of every one of you. I got again a pressure, so let me change.
That's when the door was locked so he doesn't come inside.
But yes, the key essence we should never miss to get as an experience that while duplicating the strength, we should know how to not duplicating the weaknesses. Only the strength needs to be duplicated because the same thing, the same lesson. Never miss this important lesson. As a teacher, what you are doing, as a mother or as a father, you are also doing the same thing. If you feel what I am doing to my students in the class, the same act, the same action you will be doing for your own child. If you want your child to grow, I don't need to say what needs to be done. You won't see anyone who will say, no, I don't want my child to grow. Yes. We all want our child to grow by leaps and bounds. Yes or no? The action starts not by changing your child. The action is this karma. This is karma. What you do is going to get returned back. What you do in the class, when you are throughout the life in the next 30, 40 years, when you will get an opportunity to interacting hundreds, thousands of students, making and developing the life of thousands of people across you. If you cannot make a change in them, what will make you to get that blessings which can create a change in your older age? Hello? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
They've gone to the old age. Started thinking about. It's like when you turn old, no, and you want to go back and want to relive your life. So they say that I would like to go back and become a baby. You know why? Why? You have a lot of questions.
No restrictions. Ready to learn some carelessness.
If I was to go back and be a baby, why? Come on, mothers. There are less fathers over here, but mothers are more. To get back that smile of that mother of yours. If I was to go back in school and relive my school, so what would that be, and why would that be? Think. He took you to an old age, not to go back and when you turn old and how you're going to be. And that's the time you're going to want all these things happening. Why I say this? Because this is the time and how you're going to live your life. So that you don't have to think about, if I go back again, why would I go back? So as a school child, why would you go back? Go back to the school? Answers, come on. These are all teachers, no? Not basketball, so Santosh. You started playing basketball when you grew up.
The smile of the teacher.
Friends.
Go back and meet those that you met and made friends in school who no longer are there in your dictionary or in your phone numbers. That's what life is all about. So, make it count, live your life, so that you don't have to revisit your life and regret, had I done those, and why do I miss them now? That's leadership. That's leadership as an individual. So inspire others to live that life and see that they live that life and don't miss out on those. See that the kids in classroom don't miss out on those. Thank you.
Thank you. Such a wonderful, I think this is the moment when corn turned to be pop. And, what a wonderful
But I love
lesson.
corns and popcorns.
Thank you, sir, for sharing such a wonderful. There is always a lot of things to learn, and I'm sure with the sir's experience, I think we are all blessed. Some or the other way get connected with him. This learning is always, my father used to say, if it is in your way, it is good. If it is not in your way, then it is fantastic. Because you get a wonderful opportunity to do a lot of the things. And with a very short and limited interaction with sir, I realized there are a lot of things to be experienced, to be felt. With a new dimension, there's a new thought. So I'm sure you all must be getting that opportunity, and I will also be seeking some time as and when required. So to take, now I think, sir, we have a time check too.
Yes.
Okay.
You've got another 15 minutes, then you.
Another 50.
1-5.
15 now.
15. Okay. Now, let me, Shruti, can you come? Let me take this up to here as one of the thing. Wherein I just wanted to talk as a responsibilities, roles, act of a teacher. And there is a lot more to be done, right? I know every one of yours life, there are a lot of such incidents you have experienced. Madam shared one of them, right? So let us restrict right now, valuing the time. Let me come to some different area of my talk, and let me talk on something you all must be feeling and experiencing. Now, I need your consultation for that. If any time you feel I am not in line with your thought, please raise your hand so that it help me to understand, because it should not happen. My thought process should also become the thought process of your all. Right or not? There may be some variation. But yes, this is what I am going to say, what I am going to speak for next couple of minutes is a common challenge which as a teacher we are facing on a regular interval. Almost every one of us are getting the big pinch of it. What is that? So I am going to first tell the problem, making you to realize that, and then what could be the solution for it. There was a time when we used to go to the school, and it goes without saying that school is a place for holistic development. It is not a place for meeting any individual goal of any child. Are you with me? Yes or no? It's a place for holistic development. It is a place, it is that ground wherein everyone get that source of starting point to fulfill their aspirations. But it is not actually a place to be cultivated to meet a particular single-mindedly some goal, right or not? Because every child come up with their own thought process. Nowadays, see, as a teacher, I'm very closely associated from last many years with various top schools. At the same time, I have worked with various top brands coaching institutes. So I can easily read the mind of the school as well as of the coaching owner, right or not? There is two things which is going parallelly nowadays. One what we call as the school results, and another what we call as cracking some competitive exam. Now, preparing for competitive exam, this is not something new. Post-independence, all of us are witnessing the selection in UPSC to become a doctor. In fact, it was much more difficult in the earlier time what we see today. Because today there are a lot of the source to practice. A lot of books are available. That time there was very handful number of the things available. But yes, all the students, they have proved it. Yes or no? But nowadays, you see, at a very early childhood, I see right from the class 6th onward or even 5th onward, the child is some or the other way becoming the puppet in the hand of some high commercial driven groups. The moment child get into 5th or 6th class and becoming the puppet in their hand, slowly it goes in a very systematic form of brainwashing. Are you with me?
Yes.
Now, I have no reservations or no objections for coaching. It is an act which was there hundreds of years earlier, but I'm sure most of the school teachers, I don't know whether the practice is still holding or not, but in my time, most of the school teachers, as per their wish, they also help the individual child taking some private coachings or something. That's an act wherein the teacher never lose that importance of fulfilling the goal, fulfilling the need of that child. Are you with me? But now in this so-called highly commercial dominated era, at a very early age, child get into that show wherein it is categorized into two parts. One is called rankers and another is called bankers. And 95% of the people are becoming victimized of these bankers. What it is doing is, it is actually spoiling and completely ruining the generations together. See, IIT, I understand, or becoming a CA or becoming a top doctor, one have to go through that hardship. No second thought about it. But do you think right from the class 6th one should start preparing for it?
No.
What is required is from class 6 to class 10, a child develop an attitude how to react with it. After teaching for IIT for so many years, I tell you, if someone asked me what could be the best practice of teaching IIT, if anyone is preparing for IIT, it is a way of living the life. Because when you get some big challenging question, how you react in the life also, every day we are facing a lot of the challenges. We learn how to react with that situation. Are you with me? Now that act, I am completely disagreeing. It's a big socially creating a big impact to the generations together, wherein the child, in the name of few rankers, seeing the posters on some newspaper or some commercial driven act, and the child and everyone is moving behind it. The child is first half into the school, and the second half, equally, the child is blocked into the
Coaching.
Now, coaching is not something new. The day when school started on the planet, the same day coaching also started. The day when school will die, the same day coaching will also die. But it used to be always complement each other. But nowadays, it has turned out to be so commercial and heavily driven act. Ideally speaking, although we are very closely associated with some state government also, and we got a wonderful opportunity to talk to them at a senior IS level, secretary level, etc. When they will going to get alert and when they will come up with some clause of binding them with rules and regulations, I don't know. But yes, this is a very high time to save our society, to save our next generation, wherein we have to make sure that this culture of first half school, second half coaching, spending around 10 or 11 hours, if you talk to any parent, they will say my child is working very hard. But do you think without doing the practice, without getting into the self-study, anyone among this crowd will going to be successful? See, if you are teaching, it is like a car is controlled by two drivers simultaneously. There are two steering and two drivers are controlling the car. In fact, at an early age of my working with various corporates, I realized, because when I was in Kota, as I said, always the teaching was a passion. There are many teachers across, like you, the coaching teachers, they are also teaching with a lot of energy, a lot of passion. There's nothing bad about it. What is something bad over there is the kind of social implication. We always carry this act of teaching with a kind of responsibility of taking every child with us. Whereas in a commercial dominated organization, it is divided into two categories. One is called rankers and one is called Are we the people in the society to be counted as a banker for them? But this is act which is going up. So if some value addition, if we can do for the development of child, wherein we can save our child, not to slip into the hand of this super commercial dominated people at the early age of the life, I think that is the best act we can do. At least from class 6 to class 10, we should save them. There could be multiple ways. One way is, as I said in my initial talk, make sure you as an individual level come up to a level wherein no one can beat you in your subject. If a child comes with some challenging question, believe me, always motivate him, because that child is your teacher. He will make you that teacher which the society will look you as a role model. Don't restrict them. Sometimes if you could not able to solve that time, no one can be able to solve it instantly. But don't miss that opportunity of learning. You will see most of the child will getting hold with you only. In case still it is not making a value addition in their development, and suppose the feel, because let's not get into that area why the child goes to coaching. It's not only for learning. If learning could be the objective, probably it would not be in the form of a flock driven game, right or not? But if it is happening, that is very negative impact creating for the development of everyone of us. And this, every year I am seeing the child, some few students reach to the target and 95% of the students could not meet the goal. I tell you one big challenge what the whole nation is facing today. even if the topper, I'm not talking an ordinary, even if the topper of the nation get into IIT, which is one of the premium institute of India as well as in the world, because they have toiled themselves so hard for which they were not supposed to, when they step up into IIT, they consider that place of real learning as the resting place. And now all these distractions are so easily available. Like parent is distracting the child by giving the mobile, whereas the society is also distracting the child by giving all such means which is not meant for them, including drugs. There is a way one have to prepare these exams. 2 years preparation is good enough. But the child has developed a right attitude towards the development right from class 5th, 6th to class 10th. That need to be controlled. Are you with me? Anyone disagree with my thought? All of you agree on this thought? Yes? I think as a social ownership, although I am the alone as of today, but slowly we are also taking it ahead, building a community wherein we can stop this. So as and when I get an opportunity, I reach to the education department and that to an IS secretary level. I just put my sentiments. They agree, they disagree, it doesn't make a difference to me. Whenever I get an opportunity, I always keep talking about it. For you as a teacher, the role, your bread and butter comes from teaching. I as a teacher, I get my bread and butter from teaching. Whether we are a teacher of school or a coaching or whatever, it doesn't matter. But at least at an end of a day, we all carry a sentiment that let it create a big value addition in their life. We have never counted the child as a banker or ranker. But a heavy infusion and the drive has been created, which we need to take some real cause. And that's my act, and I'm looking your support into it. There could be a number of the solution. One of the solution is, okay, let me take, just I will read it, I'm not going to get deeper, just. More time in coaching will yield better result. Morning 8 से evening 8 तक हम कोचिंग पढ़ाएंगे और हमारा बच्चा IIT चले जाएगा, मैं आपको बताता हूँ, ऐसा बच्चा अगर IIT जा रहा है, तो वो भारत का सबसे फ्लॉप इंजीनियर बन के निकलेगा. जिसके ऊपर नारायण मूर्ति एक दिन यही कमेंट करेंगे कि 80% of IITians of India are not employable.
Even it's true.
Yeah, because you cannot make the brain to get binded morning 8 से evening 8. At this age, I think that the average age of the classroom right now may be around 30-35. At this age, if we consistently, if someone asks to work from morning 8 to evening 8 for a month, we get to a fatigue limit. Yes or no? How can a child at an age of 16, at teenagers, made to work from morning 8 to evening 8? There may be few child, probably who is very much determined, like Sachin Tendulkar. Perfect for them. They are rankers. But to create that rankers and to build that commercial, ambition, fulfilling that, why to unnecessarily misguide the majority masses? Are you with me? Knowing is not everything. We all know that self-study is the key. I have given the example of Thomas Edison. This was the objective. Next. Competitive exam preparation affects the school studies and the other way around. It is not. If you see the syllabus of JEE or medical or any top exams which the student appear post 12, you see except mental reasoning, aptitude, rest every syllabus is as per NCERT. It is an unnecessary havoc or a kind of fear has been created in the mind of the people. If you ask me, you give me the child, I will not make him to go for any training or any coaching etc. And he will be one of the best topper. अभी आपने देखा होगा recently, I think 3 days back I read in the newspaper कि जो महुआ बनने वाली candidate थी, महुआ you know? No. Yeah, plan that महुआ, the heading was महुआ बनने वाली turn out to be the UPSC topper. Right or not? अभी भी IIT के अंदर 40-45 students get into the IIT. They are from the villages, from the towns.
Yes, sir.
So let's not create a kind of a unnecessarily havoc to just fulfill the our commercial interest. Yes, definitely IIT and these exams are some challenging. Olympiad. अगर आप 9th and 10th में if someone is preparing for Olympiad, if the child is willing to get into Olympiad, probably they can do it by themselves. There are n number of the source. If there is a teacher by heart, they will not say you first pay me and then I will teach. They will say you come with your doubts. I will feel very happy. Someone come and ask me, I could not able to solve this question. I feel I am very happy. At least he has given me some thought process. He is actually a fodder for me, for my thought process. Are you with me? Let's not create and let's stop holding up the brain in that direction. It's like some Madari is coming and playing with the shot, and we are becoming a bandar to act accordingly. Let's stop it. School is a resting place, and this is where we all are very badly impacted. When the child comes to the school with a full of energy, so when haan ke अच्छे से brush कर के with a full of energy with a 8 hours sleep, when he come to the school, the teacher is teaching with full of energy, and you see the child is because he thinks this chapter I am going to leave, I am going to learn it. How to do it, what to do it, I don't know. At an individual, make sure you all step up so that we can hold our child to ourselves, not to such commercial driven. This is again the same thing. I know the concept I will do. Now, all of you know, knowing is not everything. मुझे मालूम है सुबह 5 बजे उठ के योगा करूंगा, दौड़ूंगा, I will be healthy. इससे क्या मैं healthy हो गया? Knowing is not everything. मैं यहाँ पे भी जाऊंगा, I will write the note. मैं coaching में भी जाऊंगा, I will take the note. On YouTube also, you don't have to learn the same concept 10 times. You have to learn one concept by yourself, or from within in the school, for what the reason you are coming, and then you have to practice on it. Even if a big challenging question comes to any one of us as a teacher, or the same applicable to the students, when any challenging things comes to them, and if the child has built an attitude, similarly for the teacher has built an attitude, loving that challenge to turn from corn to pop, when you bring your imagination, your creativity, your thought process to turn that corn to pop, that question get cracked. Are you with me?
Yes. So.
Why to get a fear about it? Why to run away from that? If the challenging question is coming, the same attitude the child need to develop. If NCERT is asking the question directly on the formula, and IIT is posing a question by creating some kind of the real life, some kind of the application of that question, let the child develop it. It is through practice. It cannot be done by making you to mug up with something, because in that scenario, even if the child is getting into IIT, let me tell you very frankly, very honestly, it is much better to save our child not getting into that race. And I am telling you, although I had created n number of the selections in various top examination during the top ranks also, but still I feel always one thing: let the child come with that thought process of coming up, not by bombardment of like a just getting through without having the real essence of learning. One of the solution I am working on, I am just sharing it with you, and I will be taking the feedback. My feedback form is, I think, there. I will be just asking you to just put a line on this. It is called a school integrated program, wherein we are merging the school with the competitive exam. So there could be a different way wherein we can infuse each other, but at least at an end of a day, the school, the teachers, and the students will be the winner. Why? Because if suppose school teacher, for example, ma'am, what's your name?
Pallavi.
Pallavi ji, suppose for example, is a maths teacher. She has introduced the maths some concept in the class. What is happening today is, school is teaching some topic A, coaching is teaching some topic B. And this is happening on everyday basis. Very soon the child realized, I cannot cope up with this kind of the pressure. How it could be? So either he will get completely cut off from the school or get completely cut off from the coaching. But the irony of the story is, you get cut off from both the places. Because you cannot change the attitude. Na? Just like I said, as a teacher, आप सोचेंगे कि as a teacher I will act something else for my student, and for my child I will act something else. God has not empowered with such kind of the mindset. So you cannot, the child cannot manage both the things simultaneously, right or not? So what our main purpose with the school integrated program is, let the objective of competitive exam and how at an early age we can stop child slipping into the hand of coaching institute. That is the purpose. Without making any compromise on their thought, whether without making any compromise on their ambitions and the goal. Because the real fact is, the student, if he get the right kind of the mentorship, not coaching, not teaching, but a right kind of a mentorship, the child can easily turn out to be a successful in whatever the ambition, goal, thought they are carrying with themselves. Briefly, I just read it for you. I'm not going deeper into it. It is, first thing is to stop brain drain. You see, right now in the society, which is a very common, from 9th or 10th onwards, students go for the dummy schooling.
Yes.
Right? And let me tell you, and if you can just go back and if you evaluate, last 5 years, topper of your school or the school in your vicinity, those who have left school in the name of dummy classes, 90% of them have even ruined the result worse than what
A regular
they used to. They even have to they used to struggle to get even the basic scores in the school exam also. So let us bring this thought process completely out of the mind that getting into the coaching will make a big difference for very few, but for majority it is creating a very big negative impact. So let us stop the brain drain. Let the bright child, which has been nurtured by us, should remain intact with us because we know every nerve of that child. That is the reason, no, he has turned out to be good achiever. Because as a group, as a team, as a strength, as a vision, as a support, someone is driving you, right? Yes or no? I know for sure, हर class का जो bright और अच्छा बच्चा होगा, जिसके the one who is carrying the right attitude. Not only the school teacher, but at the same time, the vice principal, principal, the director, everyone knows that bright child. Are you with me? And suddenly a day comes when the child has been nurtured, and it's a time for coming up with the flowers. The child says, "I'm going." It pains hard. Does it pains to you? Does it pains to you? Yes. So we have to stop this brain drain as one of the activity. Bringing education into the single stream, it is the way the education was supposed to be, and it is the way we all have gone through this way of education, wherein there is a one stream, one driver driving the vehicle, not two drivers parallelly driving the vehicle. To fight against the unstructured, commercial-driven coaching institutes. I am not against, I am again coming back, I am not at all against with any coaching, but only thing is, with the mindset of driving it on a commercial interest, I have a big question mark on them. And since I have been there with these organizations at a different level, so the thought process which is going nowadays, it clearly implies it's purely a commercial. Stop this coaching encouragement in our life. And this one solution, as what I suggest, is school integrated program, wherein we can bring it in a one stream, not into two streams. Next. No, previous one. This is something I love talking about because that plays the most important role in life. But the good thing, what I wanted to always speak on this slide is how we can, yes sir, how we can please distribute it. I'm just sharing you one form as a feedback. Just to help me out with it. So I just wanted to know your feedback. One thing is I'm asking you that is there anything you have learned today? And if anything you have learned today, and be very honest. If you feel, no, today the session I have not learned anything, just mention I have not learned anything. If you feel you have learned anything, so in the next line I have asked you, what is your action plan? I will be very happy to know and to see some kind of a drive if I can create it. So that is one of the points which I wanted to take it from you. So we can come to the next. So I have already covered this point in my talk. That when we talk about the blessings, it is not that the teacher is blessing the child, right? You have to always count blessings of the student. Do good. All act of your good thing will be adding blessings in your life. Next. The previous one. Now, this is again a very important message I wanted to give. Many times we feel that, today the child, they are not giving that kind of the gratitude the way we used to give gratitude when we were in their age. Do you feel so?
Yes, sir.
Yes? Do you feel so?
Yes.
Only two, only three, only four. Do you feel so?
Yes.
Okay. So it starts from you. You also make sure if any of your colleague is a mode of inspiration to you, you put your gratitude. If you find some learning opportunity is coming on your way, you feel gratitude. If when we say a child need to give that feeling, that sentiment of gratitude to their teachers. So you are also having the teachers in your life. Hello?
Yes.
If you are a teacher, does not mean you don't have a teacher. If I am a parent, doesn't mean I don't have a parent. If we are giving the gratitudes, probably this will what we will going to transform in this generation. They will see you and they will also start giving you that respect. Whether it goes to your colleague, whether it goes to the top management, whether it goes to your parent, whether it goes to your teacher, but make sure if some good learning has came in your way, just feel that thanks, convey that thanks. Make sure as a gratitude, give that kind of a respect to you. Next. And this is how we always see. Whatever inputs you are giving to us in that one, because time is less, so I think even if you write one line or two lines, that is a big thing for us. So that is the asset. If the session is good, you can bless me. If you don't find it interesting, please don't curse me. Right? But if you find good, I count your blessings. And your feedback is something I always look ahead to explode more in my life. So a single line will make a big impact in my life. So I'm looking for a good thought process from your side for putting that single line. You keep writing and I end up with a small incidents. How I got connected to Golden International. It is not a long-term association. Few months back, I just got opportunity to meet first time with Gopal Agrawalji, your visionary leader. The time was very limited, but somehow the meeting turned out to be a little lengthy and we have spent almost 2.5 hours. Speaking with him, I realized one thing, that when the owner of an organization, because I'm into this field of education, so I get an opportunity interacting on a regular basis to various educationists. Next day I took a call that I'm switching my admission for my younger child from some X school to your school. But I just again wanted a second independent opinion. So my wife Shruti, she's also an educationist. So I didn't say anything. I just said, Shruti, I have got an opportunity interacting and going to Golden International. Why don't you go tomorrow and just see how well it suits for our child? She came to Golden International and I asked her, I gave her a homework that you please explore it thoroughly because I want a complete review on yours. So when she came back, she stamped on my thought. The third day, we decided to give Golden International. So this is how my first interaction happened with Gopal. Then as a parent, in one of the parents' meeting when I was moving out of the corridor, someone said that there is a new principal in our school. Although my child must have conveyed it, but she usually convey all such school activity to her mother, not to me. So probably she may be knowing it, but I was not aware, and I was just on the way. And then it happens, I got an opportunity to talk to your another visionary, I should say superpower, with Mr. Brown. The best thing what I see in my child is, whenever she come home, she never say it's a principal. She says Mr. Brown. So the first thing I ask her, said, why you say Mr. Brown? But deep inside I realized the kind of the support structure it is coming to all the students, and I'm sure the same is happening with you as well. There is a child, I think my child, she's 10 years. In 10 years, she feel that openness to go and say it's Mr. Brown, and she can speak to Mr. Brown. So I actually tell you, there are not many schools, many students get such opportunity with that kind of the openness to talk, to drive. And in the last few days, with the thought process sir took, that how we can empower, and he thinks a lot of, I'm sure he must be doing a lot of the things, and at the same time he is thinking a lot for the development. So he said, Ashish, I have a limited time, if you can. I said, perfect, fine, let me go ahead with it. So the another good thing what I feel altogether in the Golden International is, undoubtedly your leader, Gopalji, the director, your principal, so you are in the car which is very, which is for sure will drive you to the good success. It's a wonderful team, it's a wonderful organization. And today when I step up into your conference room, I tell you one more thing. I have seen even, there are some schools, could be even in dimension and everything will be much bigger. But this conference hall is one of the best conference hall in the school I have seen. And nevertheless, the kind of audience I have today in my hall is something it will never make me to forget it. Right? So you really deserve a good round of an applause. And
it's, what you sow shall resonate, shall reflect, shall create that aura.
That aura, absolutely. And, I'm very much thankful to each and every one of you for spending 2 hours with me without making or without losing the interest. So I'm very much thankful for your patience, and I will be very much thankful to you for the rest of my life. If any value addition in this time has added up in your life, and if someday if you can implement it in your life, this is something I will be always looking for.
Poonam.
Just the last slide,
Yeah,
and
last
I'm
slide.
finishing now. Okay. If any time any one of you find any challenge, neither I am your boss, neither I don't think ever any school will make me principal.
We don't have bosses. We don't have bosses over here.
So, yeah, absolutely. So it will never happen that you and me will ever get connected. So anytime if you feel I could be an instrument to make some change in your life, you are always welcome. You can always reach me, and Arise Academy Global is the platform, and either on the website or on the whatever the way you wanted to pick it up, you can always reach me. And sometimes if you come across any kind of a challenge, because when the student goes for different time, as an individual we also go to a very, life is not smooth always. Anytime if you feel I could be a source of support to any one of you, you are most welcome. And by this, I wanted to convey my once again thanks to the director, to the principal. Special thanks to Udita ma'am as well as Poonam ma'am. They were from last 2 days gearing up, making all the arrangements so that all of you remain, in a very comfort, and it should go without having any disturbance. So thank you very much, and wishing you a wonderful teaching career in your life. Thank you very much.